Bam, boom. What's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another great edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. We have our Super Bowl recap show. It's down in the ground, but I am not alone. I'm never alone. I am with my main man, Caleb. Caleb, how are you, bro?
I'm great, man. I had a fantastic Super Bowl, so very,
How many?
very happy.
All right. So you want to talk props on the prop victories on betting the NFL, or do you want to talk them here?
Well, when NFL's over, so we can definitely talk them here.
All right. So we will talk about your winning bets toward the end because I want your thoughts on something that happened last week.
Okay.
What is old is new again for the Dallas Cowboys. We shall talk about them re-signing or rehiring their former defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. Everyone knows Mike Zimmer as the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, a man who was a constant playoff threat in the NFC, but he just never could get over the hump with Minnesota due to usually the quarterback position, because every other position they had except that dang QB position. We'll talk about Mike Zimmer a little bit later. The Giants hired some new people. I'm not going to be honest with you. I don't know them. They were in the strength and conditioning department. So we'll see. Personally, how you're a good strength and conditioning coach, Caleb?
Because guys don't get injured.
Yeah, no one knows your name because you only know the names of bad strength and conditioning coaches. You don't know the good ones because the good ones never leave. The good ones always stay with the team that hires them. You keep them. No one's injured. No one knows their name. They do their job. They're nameless. If you're a strength and conditioning coach and someone knows your name, you're not doing a good job. That's all I got to say. You're not doing a good job because the training department, Ronnie Barnes, he's not in charge of not getting people injured. He's in charge of when they get injured, how do I treat them? The strength and conditioning coach, that's where you prevent the injuries. All right, so we have first comment of the chat. Hey, y'all, Shanahan should be ashamed of firing Steve Wilkes. Take the blame and get better. We'll talk about that. We will talk about that as well. But Caleb, man, how was your Super Bowl, man? How was your
Like
Super
I
Bowl
said,
day?
fantastic. I mean,
Well, no,
went
no,
exactly.
not just the
No,
money.
I
I'm talking
mean,
about like,
yeah, I mean, no, the game went exactly the way what I thought it was going to go.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just watching that, I was like, I love to be right, and for the past three Super Bowls, I've called it exactly how it was going to go, and that's pretty much how it pans out. So I'm fantastic predicting what's going to happen in the Super Bowl because I've done it for the past three.
So you
Uh,
wait, time out. You picked the
yeah,
Rams to beat Cincinnati?
I did. I,
No,
I did.
okay.
You can go. We have it at betting in the NFL. You can go back and watch it. I absolutely predicted it. I won money on that game. I won money on last year's Super Bowl. Won money for the last three Super Bowls.
You know what, Caleb? Let's start something happy. Let's talk about the props you hit. Props or bets? Did you do any props?
Oh yes, I won both
Did
props.
you did you did you do the famous over under on
I
the
did, and I
national
won
anthem?
that was part of my
Parlay?
parlay my parlay. I had the over under with the outright the win, picking the Chiefs because I thought they were going to win. Picked them
Mm-hmm.
outright, and I had that along with the over and under, and I said it was going to be under, because I knew it was going to be a low scoring game. Like
Oh,
I mean,
Caleb, see, Caleb, see, you misheard me. I said the over under on the national anthem. All
oh,
right,
on the
did you bet
national
that
anthem.
one?
Okay, I thought.
Did you bet that one?
I did not bet the national anthem.
Are those are
Um,
those are those like on serious betting? Like, can
those
you
are on
walk into a
the
casino?
betting sites that are not available in the state of Nevada.
Okay, so those are like on FanDuel
Yeah,
and DraftKings,
yeah.
like those.
I'm more just working with the casino app,
Yeah.
the station casinos app. So
All right. Well,
shout out to
don't say
them. I
don't
mean,
say
they're
the
not
casino's name because they don't sponsor us, so we won't shout
yeah,
their
they're
name
not
out.
sponsored, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the station's casinos app, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of station casinos here.
Yeah.
But um,
Can you like walk
but yeah,
into? Can you walk into like a gas station and place a bet?
um, in the slot machine, not on the game. I'll
Oh,
just
okay.
look at the gas station.
So gas station got slot machines left and right. Like it's just just
Yeah.
you get your like what like your 50 cents change and you put it in the slot and see how much you can win.
Well, yeah, I mean, just like other states have the lottery. I mean, we don't
Uh-huh.
have the lottery, but it's the same exact thing
Oh, y'all don't have the lottery? Why don't y'all have the lottery?
because we have slot
Oh, yeah,
machines.
gambling. Yeah, gambling is the yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, I got a question, man. So I'm watching this show, Las Vegas. Okay, like bear with me. They said something in the show where they said that the Strip is unincorporated county land. Is that true? It's not owned
Ye-
by the city.
well, it's like it's set apart from the city. Like the
The
city,
Strip.
yeah, the strip alone is like outside. It's like inside the city, but it's like outside, kind of like how like the Vatican's like within Rome. It's like its own thing.
Ah, wait, did you just compare the Strip to the Vatican? That's
Well,
crazy.
I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to like. It's like a
You
city
know what,
within the
Caleb?
city.
That is a great comparison because you know what? The Strip is the Vatican. It's the Vatican of dreams, man. It's the Vatican of
It's kind of like
dreams.
the opposite. I mean, you do. I mean, the Vatican's very holy and religious place, and
Hey man, hey
that
man, if
and
you
the strip is
hey,
the complete opposite of that.
well, if you
Very
talk to a couple
degenerate,
people,
and
Caleb, the Strip is very holy. It's
I
blessed a lot of
mean,
people.
depends
My
what
good
you're looking
sir.
for.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. It's like the Vatican. It's like, you know what? I gotta clip that out. Yo, man, the Strip is like the
Yeah, and
Vatican.
that's why I comment on. I think we did a great job hosting the Super Bowl. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, so many people were here. So many people,
No, because
celebrities,
well, yeah.
anybody was coming here.
Well, Caleb,
Uh,
Vegas is a hosting city. It's always hosting shit. It's always like that's the thing I keep talking about. People are like, oh, in Vegas, like, how, dude, Vegas was built for the Super Bowl. This is what
It
Vegas
was built
do.
for sports. Like
Yeah.
the thing that other sports leagues, like team sports leagues, had such a problem with betting. Like, have they never watched a boxing match, a UFC match, any type of other sports that we've held here? It's never been an issue, and all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, why would it be an issue with team sports? It's like the stigma that it had was so ridiculous when we posted, big boxing matches throughout the history.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so dumb that they
Vegas
would
was
give
the
us other team
boxing
sports.
capital of the world. Vegas
Yeah,
was the boxing capital of the world. You fought him. You wanted to fight in Vegas. You wanted to fight in two places, Caleb. Two places in America. As a boxer, you wanted to fight in MSG, and you wanted to fight in Vegas. That's it.
yeah,
You
and
know,
that's how I felt about the Super Bowl. It felt like a big fight. It was like that kind of feeling. It was like a big fight, big
leading up to it.
boxing match leading up
Yeah,
to it in Vegas, and that's how the Super Bowl felt. Around the city.
yeah, man. It was Vegas people, regular people who go to Vegas on like a yearly basis, on like a monthly basis, and like in Vegas residents. When the Super Bowl came up, it was probably just like a normal ass Thursday.
Yeah,
It was just like a normal Thursday. You know what I mean? I am very upset they didn't have Wayne Newton involved of the Super Bowl at any.
I
I wanted
mean, he
Wayne
was
Newton.
there.
He was there, but like, come on, involve him. It's Mr. Vegas, man. Like, let him sing Donka Shane or
He,
something. You know
he's
what I
old,
mean? So he's
really
still
old.
performing.
I mean,
Does he still have? He still has a residency somewhere, right, Caleb?
I, I
There's
don't
still
know. I
Wayne
don't
Newton.
think so.
You don't really? Oh, did he retire? No.
I think he did. I mean, he's pretty old.
Well, also too, Caleb, Vegas is an amazing sports town in the sense that, but I feel like it's an amazing sports town if the team that shows up is an expansion team. You know, because the expansion team, it becomes extremely Vegas and it's theirs, right? Like the Golden Knights. I guarantee you, Caleb, the Golden Knights are probably the most popular team in Vegas, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they
They
won a
are.
championship. I mean, they're the
That's
one that gives the championship. So,
well,
yeah.
that's true. But before that, because it was their team, like this is our team.
Yeah.
This is
I
the
mean,
team.
well, that was because it was our first, team sport.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first ones. They were that came here, and we were so wanting to, like, that's why and get like the people in the Vegas just wanted any sport to come here.
Yeah.
So we can go, watch and get behind them.
I got hockey
Um,
first, which is crazy. Well, no, you didn't get hockey first. You didn't get
yeah, we
hockey
did.
first. No,
Yeah.
you got basketball, women's basketball first.
No, hockey was
Basketball.
the first. They were
Oh,
before.
then they came later.
Yeah.
The Aces.
Yeah. They
Okay.
were
All right. Cool.
the Golden Knights were the first
Okay.
team sport to come.
Got you.
Yeah, so yeah, we were just ready to get behind someone. So yeah, I mean, the fact that they didn't think it was gonna work, it's just I just don't know how. Like, I mean, I knew it. I knew everybody in the city knew it.
Hmm.
We were ready to have a team. And yeah, and now that we're hosting a Super Bowl, I mean, this is like, I mean, we're just getting bigger. We're just getting big more and more for the city. And, Vegas is gonna be the place, man. I think they're gonna
Yeah.
host more Super Bowls and other big sporting events. I
You
think
know
they're
what
gonna
my
be
theory
along
is?
the lines with all the other major sports
Oh,
cities.
absolutely. Because Vegas as a city, man, is a great host. As a city, some cities aren't built to host, but Vegas is a hosting city. It's phenomenal, man. It's great. I also have a theory on. I guarantee you, Kelly, if y'all were given an expansion NFL team,
Yeah.
and they were kind of like the Golden Knights, where like they were good-ish and were like very good. I feel like there'll be more fans of that team than the Raiders, because I think the Raiders came with baggage, right? The Raiders came with baggage to your
Yeah,
city.
you got a lot of Raiders fans here. I mean, there's even before they came here, there was a lot of Raiders fans,
Mm,
just because they're a popular brand
yeah, it's true.
on the West Coast.
But
You
here's the
know,
thing. But the Raiders want a Golden Knights thing. There is no other hockey fans in Vegas. It's Golden Knights,
yeah,
right? It's the Golden Knights. The people who are non-Golden Knights fans are people flying in to watch their team against the Golden Knights. That's what they
yeah.
are. Like, I'm sorry, man. When the Raiders don't have a home field advantage in a sense, because you have a lot of people coming in, and
Well,
I
I
mean
think they would if they were good. I
they were
mean, if they're
good, sure,
consistently good, I think
yeah.
that'd be different.
Winning cures everything, Caleb,
Yeah.
because that's what it with the Rams. People were talking about how like they're like, can the Rams take
Yeah,
over
see,
LA?
I don't see it with them. Like, even if they're good, they won a Super Bowl and they still have no fans. You know, it doesn't matter. Like,
Mm,
that's just LA people. Like, they just don't show up for their teams unless it's the Lakers or Dodgers.
or USC.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
USC is the football team in LA. People, I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for hundreds. USC sells out the Coliseum. USC sells out the Coliseum. There's a lot of people who have never been to USC. They're not alums of USC that go to USC games, who are USC fans, who've never been to, who aren't alumnists. They're that college brand that you're not an alum, but you're still a fan of them. It's like Texas. There's a lot of Texas fans in Texas who aren't Texas alums, who have who don't, like, they're nowhere near Texas. You are a Texas Longhorn fan. You're an alum of UNLV,
yeah.
but you would go to a Texas home game.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I'm actually I'm planning on to this season.
exactly. See, like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's a couple of college brands that the brand, you're a fan of the brand. It's USC, you're Texas. Oregon is becoming that. A lot of Oregon fans, not a lot of them have been to the University of Oregon. Oregon's just cool, you know what I mean, on the West Coast. But it's like my thing is like Alabama, right? It's a big brand in college football. It's a big brand, but a lot of people that don't go to the University of Alabama, they're not that much. They're not fans of the University of Alabama. They're not that type of brand. They're a big brand, and their network is big because the alums are big and everyone loves them. And Alabama has like only two football teams that they care about. They have two pro teams that are college teams. It's Auburn and Alabama. You know what I mean? And but someone from California like me isn't a fan of Alabama. I'm a fan of Oregon. It goes with Miami. A lot of my Canes fans. There's a lot of alums of Canes fans, but there's a lot of non-alums of Canes fans. When they're the Canes, the Hurricanes. That's the thing, man. It's all about the brand. Because the Raiders, man, it's a lot of stuff's happening with the city of Oakland. They're still fighting to keep the A's. They possibly, if the A's leave to go to Vegas, there's a possibility that the A's will get an expansion team, which
Yeah.
is kind of
And then what Adam Silver just said they might have a basketball team here.
LeBron James wants to own that team. He's made it very clear, I want to own that team.
Yeah.
And imagine, Caleb, you're Vegas, you have a team, and one of your owners is LeBron James.
I mean, Tom Brady's part owner of the Raiders, so
Yeah,
the same
but
thing.
yeah, but it's not the same gusto. Like, he bought a piece of the Raiders, and then like he disappeared because
Yeah, but he's
we know
still
what
there.
happened.
He's always in Vegas.
Really? Is he
Yeah.
always at the games?
I don't know if he's always at the games, but
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, they suck.
You always see him on like social media in Vegas.
Yeah, no, because why would he show up to a game yo, man, we'll talk about Tom Brady. I want to talk about Tom Brady a bit later about his broadcasting career, but let's talk about the game, Caleb. Let's talk about it, man.
Well, I just want to finish up on my betting.
Oh yeah. You bet. Hit me. So over under you hit. Chiefs outright you hit. Anything else you hit?
I picked the MVP. Well, I mean that was easy.
Come on, man. What?
But you still won. You still get credit. It was still.
Yeah, I know.
It was still plus money. It was still plus money though. It was still plus money, which means it wasn't a favorite. Well, he was the favorite, but he wasn't an overwhelming favorite. Was
either him or Juwan Jennings. It was either him or Juwan Jennings.
It was not either him.
No, if the Niners win, Juwan Jennings wins MVP.
I don't think so.
Passing touchdown, receiving touchdown, clutch third down conversion. They gave the MVP to Malcolm Smith, Caleb. Come on. Let's not act like Juwan.
It would still probably be Brock Purdy.
Nah, it would have been Caleb. Seattle Seahawks. They're going
to give it to the quarterback.
Who cares? No, they were going to give it. They gave it to Julian Edelman one year.
That's because there was no offense until he started to do stuff. But
exactly, Juwan Jennings was the offense for the Niners. Passing touchdown, receiving touchdown. It would have went to Juwan Jennings. I guarantee you, man. You gave one to Malcolm Smith. You gave one to Malcolm Smith one year.
Yeah, that one was weird.
Exactly. So like Juwan Jennings winning it is not like outrageous.
Yeah,
you know.
But yeah, I mean, it was an easy bet. When we both said it was like that. It was a lame pick. It was the easy pick, but it was the smart pick. It was the right. It was the.
You still got money, y'all.
Yeah,
still got money.
It was the correct pick to make. Yeah. So I did hit that one. So yeah, I'm very very happy that it went. Like I said, it went exactly the way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Before we talk about the Super Bowl, let's Ryan Super Bowl recap. Ryan Christensen in the chat says boring first half, better second half. What were you thinking on the coin toss OT and a Chiefs win? Yep, that is exactly kind of how I saw it.
That pretty much
summed it up. Yeah. You know what, everyone, guys, have a wonderful night, guys. Stay safe, and we're gonna go home. But before we get to guys, I want to get some house cleaning news. Guys, Caleb, guess what happened? Guess what happened?
What's that?
We got to 130 subscribers on the Highlight YouTube channel. We're at 130, baby. But guys, more and more, I really need y'all to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to get all the notifications of when we go live, when our videos drop, because we do live and pre-recorded, right? We don't do one or the other. We do both. So make sure to keep that notification bell on, guys. So keep doing that. Shout out to the 130 subscribers that subscribe to our channel. We appreciate you, love you, thank you so much for that, as well as other housekeeping news. Patreon, guys, patreon.com/LGR_network. If you want to join our Discord, it's $1. You want to join next year's fantasy football league, it's at the $10 tier. We also have a couple of other tiers. I'm not gonna say, man. We have the $15 tier. All I'll say is this, man. $15 tier, bang for your buck. That's all I gotta say is bang for your buck. As well as we are also simulcasting on Twitch, twitch.tv/LGR_network. We're live right there. So make sure to head on over there. Hit the follow button. I just want you to hit the follow button. That's it. But if you also want to hit the subscribe button as well, thank you so much. But I really want you to hit that follow button. And if you have a couple dollars to spare, hit that subscribe button as well. But all I need is the follow, man. That's all I need. Hit that follow. If you want to add some more support and hit that subscribe, I appreciate you as well. But follow and subscribe, love you the same. And there's that as well. Also, yes.
Oh, I never finished.
Oh no, we're good. That's all I really need to take apart.
I just had one more. Yeah, I did hit one more.
We have one more bet. Hit me.
Yeah, I did hit one more bet. I did pick whether overtime was going to be played. I did win on that one.
Yes. We'll talk about the overtime in a bit.
Yeah, So he just reminded that I did pick the overtime, and I won money on that bet. That prop bet too. So yeah.
All right, Caleb, man. Let's talk about the Super Bowl, man. It was a rematch of 4 years ago. Same teams. One quarterback was the same. One quarterback was different. The Niners added Christian McCaffrey's the difference. I believe they also had Deebo Samuel back in then, but it wasn't Deebo Samuel yet. The Chiefs still had the nucleus of Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. Let's get right into them. And initially, your thoughts of the game, how it went. I know you picked the Chiefs. I picked the Niners. What what were your initial thoughts as the game was going along, right? Because initially, man,
Well,
the
initially, I
offenses
thought,
were atrocious. The offenses were just bad.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I think we had the same thoughts as Ryan that this is a complete boring game.
Yeah.
There's like nothing going on here. But just overall, in the end, I went back to what you said, and you were adamant saying, "Oh, I think Brock Purdy can get it done." And I was like, "No, he can't. No, he's not. He's not going to get it done because he's Brock Purdy, and he's not going to win the game for
He
him.
missed. He missed. He
He's
missed
just
a,
going
a
to
lot
kill
of
him."
receivers.
Yes, and that's why I said, and that's what you saw in the previous two games. He was missing guys, throwing bad picks, throwing bad balls that should have been picked off. And seeing that, I was like, no, I have no confidence that he's going to get done. I have more confidence that he's going to throw a bad ball to give the game away, or
He
just not
didn't.
make a play, or just not make a play
Yeah.
to win it. And that's what we saw here. He just didn't make the plays necessary to win the ball game in the end. He did get it he got the lead with his last possession, but their defense and yeah, like going back to Ryan's previous comment, it was the defense, and that's what we saw and like I said, I would just that's how that's why I know I just pretty much go by what I've seen through the games, and I just saw their defense give up points to the Lions, give up points to the Packers, and why would I not see their defense give up a last drive in overtime for Patrick Mahomes to do what he does and win the game?
Well, Caleb, I think the defense changed when Dre Greenlaw got injured because they brought in Ornell Burks, who was the backup.
Even so,
No, the Chiefs weren't hitting on the early
you're
parts.
right. I mean, you're right. They weren't playing well in the first half. I mean, they were getting stifled throughout the game. But I mean, I never thought, even with that going on, even if I
You
had
thought the
said
Chiefs will
Greg Greenlaw,
adjust?
they're gonna do it because Patrick Mahomes just is that guy that's gonna make the plays and win the game. And I had no doubt that was gonna happen. I never thought that the Chiefs were gonna come back in this one and win it, even when they were down 10 points.
Yeah, I personally think the Dre Greenlaw injury kind of shifted the game because when Dre Greenlaw got injured, Travis Kelce was unlocked. Travis Kelce, completely quiet, zip, zilch, nada. No one knew he was even on the field. The only reason you knew he was on the field is when he yelled at Andy Reid on the sideline and he chest bumped him. Personally, that's whatever. A lot of people are angry at Travis Kelce for doing that. Me, I'm like, bro, you don't know football players, bro. You've never been on a football team. Andy Reid's like, it's whatever. It's like, come on. Like, I ain't tripping. Like, so that was like meaningless. I think when Dre Greenlaw got injured, because Dre Greenlaw's job was 87. That's your job, 87. And then when he popped his Achilles, Caleb, you want to talk about unlucky, bro. You want to talk about unlucky. He's running onto the field on grass. It's not even like I thought it was artificial turf because he popped his Achilles, right? So, it's got to be artificial turf. I find out the Raiders play on grass.
Yeah,
That's a
they have
grass stadium.
They have two different fields that they put into that stadium.
Oh yeah, because they you know what's messed up? They give UNLV the artificial. That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up. All right, come on. What's up with that? You know what I mean? But the NFL players, they play on grass. So the Super Bowl was grass. It was Bermuda grass. So I can't blame the field because the field usually destroys, but it was, you want to talk about just unlucky, Caleb. Bro, Caleb, it's like, imagine, Dexter Lawrence just ran onto the field and he hears a pop. How would you feel, Caleb?
Well, I wouldn't feel happy because he's on the Giants.
DeMarcus Lawrence. Sorry. DeMarcus Lawrence. See, my bad, man. I think when I think of Lawrence, I think of Dexter because Dexter's the better Lawrence. My apologies. So DeMarcus, imagine DeMarcus is running onto the field to do a series against Philly, and he pops his Achilles on grass. You would be like, what? He ran back on the field? Like no one hit him, no one touched him. He's running onto the field, and cling, pop.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to, because you see Fred Warner's face, because Fred was right there, right? Fred was right there, and Fred's like, him and Fred are running onto the field, and Fred sees him fall, and you're like, yo, why'd you fall? And then he's like, and he's like grabbing his Achilles, like, Because when you pop your Achilles, I've heard you hear a gunshot. You know, you're like a gunshot. Like it's like a gun in like same thing with your ACL. You hear like a pop, like a bang, and you're like, what was that? And he probably heard the pop. And Fred Warner is just like completely like distraught. He's like, what just happened? So you lose your second best linebacker. Your first best linebacker is mentally broken because he just witnessed something catastrophic in front of him.
Why do you know he's mentally broken? You just saying that?
Because look at his face. You should have saw his face, bro. Because he's like, oh my God, I have to be.
I don't think you can really say, oh, he's mentally broken.
Okay, you're right. But he's probably like, oh my God, I have to like now play with Ornell Burks. Ornell Burks. Let me tell you about, no offense to Ornell Burks. Ornell Burks, 9 targets, 9 catches, over 100 yards, and a touchdown. They went after him because they knew he's not as good as Dre, and they proved it. They proved to Ornell Burks, that's why you're a backup. That's why you're not on the field, only on special teams. That's why you're not on the field. And the middle of the field opened up. And Travis Kelce, that's his domain. Travis Kelce was nothing. He was zilch, not a zip. No one knew he was on the field in the first half because Dre Greenlaw stopped him and Fred Norton. And then when Dre got injured, it's over. Because both offenses, man, were shit. They were bad. I'm sorry. The Chiefs' offense was bad. Patrick Mahomes was playing bad. It wasn't like, oh, Patrick Mahomes was like playing good. Like, no, he was bad. Same thing with the Niners' offense. They were bad.
But yeah, I mean that's why I picked it to be the under because whether you attribute that to just them playing bad, I attribute more just because I thought the defenses were
damn good. Defenses were damn good.
The personnel on the 49ers defense can be good, and the Chiefs have been playing. It's been their strength more than their offense has been throughout the season. So I just knew that it was going to be a tough ride for both offenses to get through, but. Like I said, in the end, the 49ers defense would break eventually, and that's why they do because I saw it in the previous 2 games, so that's why I thought that was going to happen eventually, and eventually it did happen.
They did break.
Yeah,
because they shouldn't have beat the. No, I'm sorry. Close your ears, Lions fans. You should have won that game. The Lions should have won that game. Josh Reynolds catches that 4th down play. It's over. It's over. Lions are winning. Lions are winning.
Yeah, it maybe didn't happen in the sequence I thought it was because I thought what they did in the second half. I thought they'd do that coming out the gate in the first half, and maybe they wouldn't score as much in the second half. But it just happened kind of the opposite way than I thought it might happen.
So shout out to Brodney in the chat show. What's up, Brodney? How you doing, Brodney? Shout out to you, man. And he says Zach Ryder's worthless. See, you know what? I disagree. Zack Ryder's not worthless, but this isn't a wrestling show, so I'm not going to get into it. All right? He's not worthless.
Kind of right.
No, he's not. He's one of the most important wrestlers in wrestling history. All right?
I mean,
let me tell you. I'll tell you. You want me to tell you why? Let me tell you why.
You told me why multiple times, but
yeah, exactly. Then you shut your mouth. Then.
But he's still just Zack Ryder.
No, the game changed because of him. He was a game changer. He changed the game. The game was changed because of him.
Yeah, but not like he changed the game as in wrestling. I mean, he's not.
No. That changed the wrestling period. All right. You know what? Because I'm not very good on Twitter. I don't like. I'm a oralize Zack Ryder. Let me tell you something about Zack Ryder, right? I'm gonna take we'll pause in the show because y'all starting to piss me off. Let me tell you something about Zack Ryder, right? Zack Ryder was a mid-card jobber, right? No one cared about him.
Still is a mid-card jobber.
No, he's not.
He always was a
That's how you know.
jobber.
That's how you know you don't follow wrestling no more. On the indie scene, Matt Cardona is one of the number 1 acts.
On the indie scene? Indie scene. Is he in WWE? Okay, there you go.
So that's what Cody Rhodes was. He was the number 1 actor on the indie scene.
He was a mid-card jobber throughout until he came back into the WWE.
No, he wasn't. He helped
was.
start a company, wrestling company.
And then he came exactly on another company, a lesser company that doesn't have as many fans.
Because they're young. Dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you got to let it grow. WWE's been around for like 70 years.
Exactly. That's how you know you made it when you're actually a star in that company.
Okay, Zack Ryder.
If you're
right?
not a mid-card jobber,
no, but let me tell you what Zack Ryder did.
Change the game in
Let
wrestling.
me tell you what Zack Ryder did. He changed the game,
popular,
right?
Popular YouTuber, great.
No. He
really.
used the internet to gain organic support with the fans. He expanded the use of the internet with WWE, with pro wrestlers, right? Now, every wrestler's on Twitter, is on Instagram. They all got YouTube channels. He started that. WWE shoves their Twitter, shoves their Instagram, shoves their TikTok down people's throats. That was because of Zack Ryder, because they saw what Zack Ryder did. He didn't need WWE, right? So he used the internet to gain popular support among the fans. Through his story about how he was a Long Island IZ, shout to him. Without him, you wouldn't have up, down, down. You wouldn't have Being the Elite. You wouldn't have these people on Twitch, the Instagrams, the Twitters. None of that happened because WWE didn't want to do that. All right. And then they saw a mid-card jobber surpass them. He didn't need creative to do that. So WWE had to step in and stop him because he was dangerous. He was a dangerous entity because he realized I could use the internet to bypass creative to get with the fans. And that's what he did. And they got mad at him and they punished him. And in the process of punishing him, they made sure to control the internet presences of their talents, and they expanded their internet prowess and reach. Zack Ryder's the reason we have the internet, like the way pro wrestling uses the internet now. He changed the game. Shout out to Zack Ryder.
He's still great. He's still not a great wrestler.
Boom. Exactly. So
what is all that? How do you change the game if he's still not a great wrestler?
I'm not talking about wrestling. I'm just talking about the entity of wrestling. He changed wrestling. He changed it for good or for bad.
Okay.
So it happens. Okay, back to football. Patrick Mahomes, man. Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy, man. So people talking about like, oh man, Chris Jones. Chris Jones had a great game in the sense that he provided a lot of good pressure on Brock Purdy, but you expect that in the Super Bowl. You expect the star players to be stars, correct? That's what Chris Jones did, but you still need to make the throws. Of course, you should be expecting the pressure. And Brock Purdy missed a lot of his wide receivers when he was being pressured. He got squirmy. Brandon Ayuk was wide open on a touchdown pass. There was one touchdown pass where Brandon Ayuk slowed up or ran in an angle and it ruined it. That was kind of on Brandon Ayuk's fault. But there was one play where Brandon Ayuk beats the press. He's wide open. Brock Purdy just sails it. He sails it like to the right. He doesn't even look in Brandon Ayuk's direction. He sails it right. And Brandon Ayuk's I'm not gonna say entourage, which is funny because I know the dude who put it on Instagram. I've known him. That's my boy. It's my homie Dre. I've known him since middle school. He's one of Brandon Ayuk's closest friends, brother in the sense. He said that's why we're leaving San Francisco, because how can your star wide receiver have 3 catches? 3 catches. You know what I mean? Brandon Ayuk was having a good game, but he didn't have the numbers. And that's the thing is, man. And also too, Caleb, what have I been telling you about the San Francisco 49ers all year? What I've been telling everybody.
I don't know what I've been telling everybody.
They're a running team.
And they stopped running the ball?
They stopped running the ball.
Yep. They
stopped running the ball. There was a stretch where Brock Purdy was passing it for 4 straight, it was a bunch of times. Right? He had 38 pass attempts, Caleb. 38. He had almost 40 pass attempts. That's not the way the Niners win games. The Niners, they kept talking about how this. You remember what Niners fans keep telling us, we had the least amount of attempts, but the highest yards per attempt. Okay, you're right, because you ran the ball. Why does he have 40 attempts?
Because I think he just wanted to play aggressively against he knew who he was playing on the other side, and he needed to get a huge lead on him to feel secure that he had this, and then he can go to that game. I don't think he ever thought, a 10-point, just like I thought that just a 10-point lead was going to be enough to win
It's
this
not
game.
enough.
So he had to
Not
be
enough against him.
I think he just felt like he had to be aggressive. He had to push them down all the field to get a score and to take that big lead on them.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. The best thing against Patrick Mahomes is you keep him on the sideline. And how you keep him on the sideline? You run the ball. You keep him on the sideline because you run the ball. You didn't keep him on the sideline.
Well, I think at that point he was trusting his defense. They hadn't done much on offense.
Yeah.
So maybe he was trusting his defense a little much there. And he could play aggressively at that point, get that lead against Patrick Mahomes, and and then he would have no chance of making that comeback like he did. I mean that's the only thing I can try to see where he was trying to call it, because otherwise, yeah, like you said, you should just run the ball, try to keep
Run the
off
ball, man.
field,
Keep him
and
on the field.
run out the time like that. Maybe just didn't trust it in that situation for whatever reason.
I think it was Patrick Mahomes. I think it was Kyle Shanahan just trying to outsmart everybody.
Yeah.
So I can win with Brock Purdy. Watch me. It's like, no. And personally, let's talk about the firing of Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks was brought in. He was told to run this scheme, and he ran the scheme they wanted. The man kept Patrick Mahomes to 19 points in regulation, Caleb. If I tell you, hey, man, someone's only allowed Patrick Mahomes to score 19 points, what goes through your mind, Caleb?
I mean, that just happened the previous week with the Ravens.
Exactly. And guess who was their defensive coordinator? Mike McDaniel. And what did Mike McDaniel do? He got a head coaching job. Mm-hmm. But Steve Wilks does it, he gets fired. Kyle Shanahan is a coward. He's a coward. He's blaming everyone else but him. How does your team not know the new overtime rules?
Yeah, that was a big surprise. They all of a sudden they were just like so clueless. I had no idea what the rule was.
Kyle Juszczyk and then Eric Armstead, one of your star defensive players, says, I didn't know the rules. That's a head coaching problem, bro. How do you not know the rules?
Yeah, I mean,
they literally changed it because your opponent cried he couldn't get a possession against Tom Brady. And then Josh Allen then cried because he couldn't get a position against Patrick Mahomes. The quarterbacks have been crying about this for the past 5 years, and you didn't know the rules changed? That's a failure in leadership. That's a failure in leadership. And he needs to look in the mirror and say, this is my fault. Because it's not Steve Wilks. It's not Steve Wilks' fault. Steve Wilks did his job. Steve Wilks had one of his star defensive players blow out his Achilles, and then he had to deal with Ornell Burks for like most of the game, and he still only allowed 19 points. Mike McDaniel gets a head coaching job in Seattle. Steve Wilks gets fired. One is a defensive genius that was created out of nothing, and the other one is Steve Wilks. Like, why do we need to? Why? You know what I mean? And they tell me there isn't a difference between black and white coaches in the NFL. You tell me one person gets a head coaching job after only allowing Patrick Mahomes 17 points, and the other one who does it gets fired and blamed for the loss. What? And watch how Steve Wilks has to become a defensive backs coach again or a defensive analyst again to get back to the position. And they tell me there isn't a difference when there is a clear difference. Kyle Shanahan failed. This is Kyle Shanahan's fault. All right. You made your bed. You picked your quarterback. Your quarterback missed players. Your quarterback should have known that Chris Jones is probably going to pressure me once in a while. So I should expect pressure. Because it's Chris Jones, bro. It ain't no scrub. It's Chris Jones against John Feliciano and Spencer Buford. You think they were going to stop him? That's the problem, bro. He thinks the scheme is going to alleviate the problems of the offense. Because like, oh, we're a zone running scheme. We want players that fit. No, it didn't work against Chris Jones because Chris Jones is Chris Jones. So Chris Jones he was all over Brock Purdy. But Brock Purdy should have known that, knowing that, like, hey, I need to throw the ball quick because Chris Jones is coming, right? So I should expect pressure. And my first option is I shouldn't be looking right where Juwan Jennings and Deebo Samuels. I should be looking at my wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk. Because if he made in a sense where he thought like Brandon Ayuk's my guy, so I'm gonna hike it, peep right real quick, but then come back left real quick. That's a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk was wide open, but he saw Chris Jones and panicked and then threw it away. You made your bed. You picked your quarterback. You got to deal with that. And it's not it's not Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes did his job, bro. You know, against the Lions, the Niners defense didn't give up a single point in the second half. Well, yeah, they
gave up a bunch of points they did.
Yeah, sure, they gave a bunch of points. Yeah,
in the first half, just like, and then they gave up a bunch of points in the second half against the Packers.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, I mean, the defense was the reason why I thought they were gonna lose. So, but it was just like in the playoffs, like their defense just got
it was up and down.
Worse all of a sudden.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. If you want to blame that on Steve Wilkes, I mean, obviously they do blame him, and that's why they fired him. But yeah, I mean, a lot of decisions by Kyle Shanahan obviously was the main reason why they lost.
Why'd you want the ball first in the first in the quarter in overtime?
In the overtime. Maybe because he didn't maybe he just didn't trust the defense, like he said. He didn't trust him to go out there right away and get torched by Patrick Mahomes really quickly. Of course, he would have then gone for it if he got the ball back. He would have gone for it on a fourth down instead of taking the field goal.
Yeah,
tried everything to score so they can tie it up again.
He expected to score on the first drive, and that doesn't happen, bro. Yeah, that doesn't happen. So yeah, this was the first time the new overtime rules I think were implemented actually in the Super Bowl. Actually, the first time the overtime rules were implemented. Period. Where now it's kind of college rules. Both teams get a shot at scoring.
I hate the overtime rules. I really do. I don't like the college.
Should be sudden death. You like sudden death, right? Sudden death.
Yeah, I like the original rules. I like the original rules that we had for like 80 years in the NFL. Just the first one that scores wins. I don't care if it's a field goal. Play defense.
Play defense. That's what I keep telling people.
Or just win the game in regulation. Like,
yeah,
that's it. Like, I just end the game.
Yeah, me and Rodney disagreed on it during the game. I saw some of his points he was making, but I still prefer the sudden death, man.
I do. I prefer just ending the game. Whoever wins. I mean, if it's a coin toss, who cares? I mean, you should have won the regulation.
Yeah, and you know what? Play defense. Why are we giving defense an excuse? Defense is a part of football. Play it. Because I remember Kansas City was in overtime against Cincinnati, and Kansas City gets the ball first, and Cincinnati has to play defense. Cincinnati gets an interception, and then Cincinnati then scores and wins. So
he says, yeah.
Bronny, tell me if you're free. Tell me if you're free right now. I'll send you the link right now. You tell me if you're free.
He says,
tell me right now.
Maybe I don't care who wins in regulation. Somebody win in regulation. I don't
Somebody.
care which
one of you win in regulation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, if I'm going for a team, I want my team to win regulation. But the other, I mean, just somebody win.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
When the game, be bold. Like I don't mind if you go for it on 2 and lose the game like that.
Play to win. Play to win.
Regulation.
Play to win.
You were trying to win. You weren't trying to push into overtime.
Play to win the game.
That's trying to win in regulation. If you want to go in overtime, well, then face the consequences of going for the flip. At least back then, going for the flip the coin and play defense. I mean, that's how I think it should be. But obviously, they don't agree, and they want both teams to get the ball and have the basically the play clock. I mean, the time clock to be irrelevant and have
Mhm.
both teams get the ball.
All right. Rodney says you can in the chat. He says you can play to win and still end up tied. LOL. And the Giants did that once. It's very pissed me
Well,
off.
you know how I mean, I don't see how when if you're playing to win at the if you're going to tie up the score, you're not playing to win.
Yeah, you're playing for a tie.
Yeah, like if you're down in the game and you're trying to tie the game, I guess if you're down by 8, I think that's the only way. You can only tie it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're down less than 8 points, then you can win the game on the last drive.
Yeah, it's true. All right, Caleb. Speaking of the last drive or new drive, that was like the last drive. Dallas Cowboys hired a new defensive coordinator. He's well known amongst the Dallas Fort Worth area and Dallas Cowboys fans.
Yeah,
Mike Zimmer. He's back. Mike
he's
Zimmer.
back.
Let me bring up his CV. Mike Zimmer. He was a part. Here's the thing. People mistake that he was a part of your guys' dynasty. He wasn't actually. He was a
No,
part of the
he came
last.
afterwards.
Yeah, he came afterwards. So he was a defense. He was a part of the Dallas Cowboys team from 1994 to 2006. In 94, he was a defensive assistant with the nickel corners. Then from 95 to 99, he was your defensive backs coach. Then he was your defensive coordinator from 2000 to 2006. Then he left. That was his stint first off with the Cowboys. He then left and went to Atlanta. Then he went to Cincinnati, where everyone knew him as with Marvin Lewis, and then he became the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. So, Caleb, what are your thoughts on this new hire? And
Well, yeah, before I get to the thoughts, just one
all
more
right?
comment. He says, so if you think you're down 3 on 30 on the 35 with play left, you should go for a touchdown instead of a field goal. Not with these rules. Not if you get the ball, no matter what. No, you should not. You obviously go for a field goal. But if I was going by the rules that I would want to play, then yes, you should actually go for the touchdown.
Good point, because you are guaranteed a possession in overtime. It's true. So, Caleb, what is old is new again. What is dead is never gone. Mike Zimmer's back in. I was gonna say Big D, but pause. In Dallas, your feelings on it? You think does he fit still? Is he still? What are you doing?
It was just it's a lame pick. I mean, it's a lame. It's going. We're doing what we did. Just going back to what we know. It's a very Cowboys conventional, you
It's like Mike
know,
Nolan.
Jerry Jones pick.
Yes.
Someone that he's familiar with, that he's worked with, and it doesn't really create much excitement. It doesn't excite me at all. Um, you know, uh, um, I just don't feel really great about it. Um, I don't think he's gonna really do much. Like he's gonna do more than what Dan Quinn did, or be this great change of culture on our defense. Maybe he is, and that'll be the thing that what decides what we decide to do um, is whether he can bring discipline to the defense. I mean, that's the major thing that I would want to see from him, is whether he can stop the penalties, the dumb plays that we always have on defense. If you can bring that, then I'll call it a good hire. Um,
Mm-hmm.
no, whether he's we have like a better overall yards or scoring defense, or from what Dan Quinn did, that can have different variables, with what players we have going into the season. But yeah, it's just a very bland pick. I mean, it's not. It's just what it is. I mean, we've had him before. I do say this. I do give him credit for that 2003 season, because he was defensive coordinator then, and that season we had a horrible roster. I mean, that was one of the worst rosters we've ever had to make the playoffs. Considering who the offense was awful. I mean, it was just an awful offense, and somehow we got to the playoffs, and Major League had to do it because the defense was really good.
Gave up the fewest yards in the NFL while running an aggressive, speedy 4-3 defense.
Yeah, so I'll give him credit for that. And if you do a hell of a job, then I'll be happy. But like I said, there's nothing for me. I'm not excited for it, and it's just kind of like whatever. I mean, I don't really have any expectations for us, anyways. So just pile it on top of the low expectations I have for my team. Of course, not in the regular season. I think we're going to do what we always do in the regular season. But as far as the playoffs, I don't think that's like the difference maker or anything like that.
Yeah, you want me to tell you those defensive starters, Caleb? You want me of the 03 team?
Well, I know them. I can tell you.
Hit me. I'll go. Hit me.
It was Greg Ellis. It was Ebenezer Eckenbon. It was Leroy Glover. It was Dexter Coakley. Terrence Newman. Roy Williams. And I forget who the other corner was. That's the only one I can't name.
Well, you forgot about two people.
Well, yeah.
Well, three people. You forgot about three people. So the other corner you forgot about was Mario Edwards.
Okay.
The other linebacker you forgot about, because you said Dexter Coakley, right?
Dexter Coakley, Datwin.
Yeah. But you forgot about Alshamond Singleton.
Oh, yeah. Al Singleton.
And then you forgot about your other defensive tackle, Willie Blade. I
don't even know who that is. I was like,
he was a rookie, and he played defensive tackle, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I know Leroy Glover was a monster.
Can you name the offense, Caleb?
And the offense was horrible. It was the worst offense ever to make the playoffs. Like, my God, we had a fullback playing running back.
Can you name him?
I'll tell you, the leading offensive player was the freaking fullback, Richie Anderson. He was he caught balls. He was running the ball. He did pretty much everything. Hambrick was just he was a big fullback playing running back for some reason. That was a stupid pick after we got rid of Emmitt Smith. And then of course we had Quincy Carter quarterbacking. We had Flozell the hotel. We had Andrew Gerard. We had he said send the link, by the way.
Oh, send him the link. We
had I think we still had Joey Galloway.
Yes, it was Joey Galloway. Yes.
Terry Glenn, I think, still was on.
Yes,
the team.
Terry Glenn. Yes.
I don't know what our slot was.
No, you guys didn't run slot.
I think Antonio Bryant was still on that team. The 88 that nobody talks about.
Oh, the 88 that no one talks about. You serious? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you know who your starting tight end was?
It was Jason Witten eventually, but because he was a rookie that season. But Dan Campbell was the
Dan Campbell, man.
And Roman was a rookie. He was a third string rookie.
So did you name all the offensive linemen?
I just know Andre Gerard and Floza Adams. Larry Allen, of course.
How do you forget about the kitchen sink, Larry Allen? Come on, man. No, the kitchen sink's Nate Newton. Is Nate Newton.
And then the other ones I don't know.
Matt Lear and Kurt Vollers, your right tackle and center. Yeah, so you knew Andre. Yeah. Oh my God, yo.
I told you. I know that. That was my first team. It was the first team I was excited about. It was the first team that I ever saw made the playoffs. I had the Joey Galloway jersey. I had the Quincy Carter jersey. It was the first, but it was a terrible roster. It was a terrible roster, and I can't believe we made the playoffs. And of course, we lost to Brownies Panthers that year in the playoffs. So yeah, I was sad after that.
Oh, did you? Who's your strong safety? Did you say who your strong safety was?
No, Roy Williams. I don't know who the other safety was.
It was Darren Woodson.
Oh yeah, Darren Woodson was.
Yeah, it was Darren Woodson. Yeah,
I forgot that he was still on the team.
If you watched our last week's show, I talked about how he was one of the major snubs of the Hall of Fame. Darren Woodson should be a Hall of Famer. If you're going to tell me John Lynch is a Hall of Famer, Darren Woodson's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Darren
He's the
Woodson,
leading
one of the
tackler
main
Cowboys.
keys. He was one of the main keys of the Cowboys defense. People talk about a lot about how Deion Sanders changed the. No, Deion Sanders, of course, is Deion Sanders. He's a
Yeah, he got there after we won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, he's a meteoric force. But the man who led the back line was Darren Woodson, and I think he should be a Hall of Famer. If you're gonna tell me John Lynch is a Hall of Famer, Darren Woodson is a bona fide Hall of Famer, guaranteed. There's no argument. And there's a couple, the Hall of Fame, excluding Antonio Gates. Fam, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing, bruh? Like,
But,
what?
Yeah, we feel that because Mike Zimmer was that defensive coordinator.
Yep, yes, he was. But guys, we're going an hour, but we have a guest. We're gonna come. We're gonna continue going. Pause. Is the one, the only. It is. I would say Carolina's favorite son, because I usually say that because like most people are like fans of where they are, but he's not from Carolina. So I would say the United States' favorite son, as well as Japan's as well.
I think he was just a visitor.
No. He lived in Japan.
No, I didn't live in Japan.
Yeah.
Hawaii. My bad.
Hawaii.
Sorry.
Jay, I think lived in Japan.
Oh,
What's
Jay
going on,
lived in Japan.
Caleb?
How you doing?
What's going on?
All right, we're doing good, Bronny. You just got off of work, big man.
Well, I mean, we're not going to talk about that for another 34 minutes or so. But thank you for bringing it up right off the bat. Appreciate that.
I'm sorry. I just assumed. I'm sorry.
I wasn't even going to turn my camera on just in case, but I mean, I guess it's out there now. So
okay, sorry. Well, nobody in your company watches this anyways.
You don't know.
That's true. They probably got FBI agents on you right now. So Rodney.
Well, thank you for watching anyway. So.
Yeah, thank you for watching, by the way, FBI agents. Shout out to the feds.
Shout out to the feds, a thing only Ferris would say.
Because he is one.
Yo, hey, hit that like button, Fed. You hit that like button.
All of your propaganda on TV.
Yeah, you better hit that like button, Fed. All right, you hit that like, you hit that subscribe. All right. So Brodney, you're admin in the chat. You disagreed with Caleb on the new overtime rules.
Don't take yourself out of it. I disagree with you too.
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna facilitate. I'm not in the debate. I'm facilitating. No, I'm trying to give Caleb more reps. I'm trying to give Caleb more reps on debating on the internet.
Wow. I just
debate other people, not just me.
I think it's BS. I want to hear you say again that if your team, the Dallas Cowboys, was losing a game, fourth quarter,
with these current
of the game,
on the 35-yard
line, you would want them to lose rather than tie the game and go into overtime.
Is it these current overtime rules?
Yeah.
Okay, then no.
You'd rather they lose than go to overtime.
No, I want them to go to overtime in these overtime rules when both teams get the ball.
Okay, no. I'm sorry. Yeah, I misunderstood you. I'm saying
the old ones, the old rules, the sudden death rules.
The old, you would rather they just go for a touchdown and lose the game rather than go to overtime.
Yes, because you're going by a flip of a coin, and back then our defenses weren't very good. So,
but you see what you're doing right there, right? You're saying yes because you're going by the flip of a coin and blah blah. That's because it was a dumbass system, and that's why
it wasn't by a dumbass system. You're trying to end the game.
Yeah, no, it's a dumbass system because you then heavily favor one team based off of nothing but luck.
But you shouldn't. But they should have won. Either team should have won though.
But that's not the way sports go, though.
I mean, why not? You're not trying to win the game
because they're timed, Caleb. That's why not.
I know, but
sometimes at the end of the time you're tied.
But you should have won the game.
Okay, and again, that's not.
You should have tried everything.
That's not the way anything goes. They both tried to win.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You should try to put an incentive to try to win the game, and that the rules haven't been that way is trying to incentivize you to not go into overtime.
Why would you need to incentivize somebody to not go to overtime? They are
the incentive is wanting to win the game.
Yeah.
I know.
You mean in regulation? Win the game in regulation?
So you think the NFL should adopt a point system
Well, obviously no, because they want more
soccer
viewers, so
or
that's why
something like that?
they no, because they want more viewers, so they're gonna go into this system that extends the game.
Yes.
No. I'm saying ideally you would want something like that where you
Ideally,
get more
as a
points
fan watching, I would
for.
want whoever just to win the game.
Okay, but you know that's not a realistic.
I know it's
thing.
not. I mean, obviously the NFL wants to make money and has.
I'm not talking about them
owners.
wanting to make money. I'm saying it's not realistic because sometimes teams end up tied, and because it's a timed sport.
Yeah, and
sometimes teams are going to be tied at the end of the game.
Ways to just sudden death. Whoever scores first, that's it.
Other
like
sports,
hockey does that.
Hockey does, yeah.
Hockey does that.
Do you think that they should have sudden death in baseball or basketball?
Well, baseball doesn't really have time, so it's kind of different.
No, they don't have time. They have innings though. So do you think if you score in the top of the 10th inning, the game should be over?
Yeah, well, yeah. Why not? You know what?
That
would save me a lot of hours, Brodney.
And say whoever gets the ball first, yes.
Oh no, but baseball's not built.
Just on home. This is home and away.
Yeah. Baseball, it's so like baseball's different.
That's what I'm saying. If you just flip a coin in baseball, and whoever ends up on offense, that's it. Play defense.
So you should play defense. So they should essentially go out there and have the possibility of losing the game without even the possibility of winning on that side of the ball.
Yes.
I mean, at least in the NFL, in theory, you can score on defense. You can't even do that in baseball.
Yeah.
Well, in baseball, you could just strike them out.
You could, but
yeah.
I'm saying, so you think that baseball, basketball, kind of sports, like, hey, I won the tip. Now,
basketball is different because
it's offense, defense at the same time.
It's all sports are offense and defense at the same time, Ferris.
No, but I'm talking about like the same players play both.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scoring back and forth.
The same players.
Like, I would not attribute to basketball. Basketball, I would not attribute that to because
why not play defense, get the ball back?
Actually, there is a rule in that. I think they did that in the G League once.
Yeah. They tried it out. It was stupid.
Yeah,
because it doesn't work in basketball.
Because it doesn't work in sports. Period.
I think
again, you're putting the after 4 full quarters, you're saying, man, you know what? F it. Let's just flip a coin to see who's going to win.
Yeah,
nobody likes.
No, but Brandon, let me tell you something. Right? You remember when the Chiefs in Cincinnati went to overtime? And the Chiefs got the ball, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Chiefs are gonna go down and score a touchdown. It's over." But then Patrick Mahomes threw an interception to Eli Apple. I can't believe I just said that phrase. That is crazy. It happened. Like it happened, and he got the interception, and Cincinnati then came back and scored and won the game. Why? But why can't it be like that? Like, go play some defense.
Okay. Well, how about you go to overtime and you throw the ball downfield and you get a phantom pass interference flag. And that team gets to move into scoring position, scores, and wins the game, and you didn't commit a penalty. Why can't it be like that, Ferris?
Because if that phantom pass interference call, that happens in regulation.
It does happen in regulation, and it shouldn't decide the outcome of a game, Ferris.
But sometimes it does.
But it shouldn't.
I agree with you. It shouldn't, but it does.
But you don't agree with me because you're saying, I know that it shouldn't, but man, I've been watching this game for a long time, so now it should. That's what you're saying.
I've been watching this game all the time, and I'm angry that it does. But the way the NFL, happens.
But once we pass that 3-hour mark, I no longer care, and it should decide the game now. Is what you're saying?
I don't think it should, but I know it's going to because that's what the NFL is.
You are literally arguing right now that it should. That's what you're arguing.
You're saying we have seen so many. We've seen so many phantom pass interference calls happens in regulation that's ended games. And the opposing fan is livid. They're angry, and they go on Twitter and they complain about how the refs cheat. And then in overtime, it happens the same way. There's going to be a bunch of fans that are angry, yelling rigged cheaters. Like what about the phantom holding calls on Eric Fisher against that one dude? I don't know who that dude was. Was it Patriots?
But it doesn't actually end games very often in regulation. That doesn't happen very often at all. Because it can help teams, but you always get the ball back.
Score.
You have a chance, right?
Yes.
I'm saying in overtime, it can actually end the game essentially because
with the second iteration of the rules.
Because no, with the sudden death, because then your offense does not have the chance to come back and overcome that bad call like you do in regulation. So yeah, you're
That's
literally
a good
arguing
point.
right
That's a good
now
point.
that
That's a good point.
yes, we should just go ahead and let referees rule
You know what?
in overtime.
That's a good point. That's a valid point right there. You know what? Valid point. Valid point. You know me, man. When I'm wrong, I admit it. You know what I mean? It's a valid point.
No, wait, you what?
All right.
He said when he's wrong, he admits it.
Yeah.
So now, Caleb, it's 2-on-1 the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know, Caleb. I mean, I'll say that about Ferris is very quick to admit tell you, hey, you know what I was wrong.
I mean,
no, man. No, the logic is sound. You're right, Caleb. It's like sometimes the phantom pass interference call. Let's say they call it with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They score right, and you get the ball back with 2:30 or 2 minutes left in the game. You still have a chance to go back and score.
It still sucks, but
it still sucks.
Not over.
But you still have a chance.
But my opposition to it isn't even that necessarily. It's just that if we're going to continue playing the game, if you're going to have overtime at all, then it needs to be fair. And flipping a coin and saying you get to play offense, you get to play defense is not fair.
I think it is fair. It means you both have a 50-50 chance of winning
the
coin.
It's not a 50-50 chance. It's absolutely
How about this?
Not
you know,
guys,
I just realized something.
The coin toss is a 50-50 chance, but it's not a 50-50. It's not a 50-50 chance to win the game. No, it's not all the fairness you need because teams are built differently, right?
Well,
some teams lean into defense, right? Mm-hmm. Some teams say, "Hey, that's how we want to play." Other teams put their focus on offense, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you have a team who's the number one offense in the league, they win the coin toss, and you don't have the number one defense in the league, that's not a fair matchup because you're going strength on weakness based off of the luck of a coin toss with no chance for it to go back the other way.
I fixed overtime. I fixed overtime.
They should have won. Like you can't just say that you can't just say you should have won and then give the other team who also didn't win the advantage in overtime. That doesn't make any sense.
Then win it in regulation.
Okay, they should have won it in regulation. Why do they get the advantage in overtime?
Because you didn't win.
Neither
they didn't also win.
Neither did they, Caleb. You say neither one of you won. Yeah. But you're saying, okay, well, but now you're the
coin
to take.
Well, don't push it to, like
thing,
it's like
the favorite.
You cover boxing. It's like don't put it to the judges. Don't let other.
No.
Knock them out. Knock them out.
You know why they say don't let it go to the judges in boxing?
Because you need to knock them out.
No, you know why they say don't let it go to the judges? Because the judges are fucking bullshit. They don't, and they often rob fighters.
But the whole point is leave no doubt. Like you should have left no doubt in regulation, and you should have crushed them.
Okay, what is this? What is this? Remember the Titans? What are we doing
here? You're making an argument that applies to both teams, but only
and that's why. That's why I think a coin flip is just as much fairness as you need because you should have crushed them in regulation.
Well, I have left no doubt. Guys, I fixed overtime. You know how we do a fair overtime, all right? You know in overtime, right? It's an extra 10 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Play the full 10 minutes. Play the full 10 minutes.
That's what
you still end up in a tie, though.
Well, then you keep playing. You do another 10 minutes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The clock doesn't matter then.
Favorite, the world's most popular sport does.
The clock doesn't matter then. There is no time limit.
No, because you're playing to the extent of the time.
Yeah. You play the full 10 minutes, right? Let's say So the Chiefs, the Niners go down, they kick a field goal. Then the Chiefs come back and they score the touchdown, right? Chiefs kick the extra point. They kick it back to the Niners. And the Niners come back and score. And you play the next 10 minutes.
You sound so excited in this hypothetical.
You know what?
That's just like so much which is.
But it sounds like his opposition to this entire idea is just this is taking too long. Just change the channel.
Take longer.
Just change the channel, Caleb.
Change the channel, man. No, here's the thing, Caleb. You say it takes longer, but you'll sit down and watch an extra 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna watch it for
exactly.
For 5 hours.
Yeah.
But as a fan, I just want my team to win. And
you know what? After 2 overtime periods, we do a kickoff.
I don't want to sit there and have a heart attack for 5 hours.
Now then we do a kickoff, right? We both kickers at the 50.
It's really just for my health that my heart's it's just
ties in the regular season. Then
there is
no. I'm saying no overtime, just straight to ties.
Okay.
Oh, that would.
that's fine.
You know what? That would be great. Actually.
That's fine.
I honestly think they should do that. I don't think there's any point to overtime in the regular season. Really, I
There
get
isn't,
the point
really.
of it
Yeah.
in the playoffs because you have to have.
I'm fine with
Yes.
it. I agree with you.
So
No,
I
that's
think
what- that's what they do
That's a
in-
compromise there, right? No
Yeah.
overtime in the regular season, and then the
Yeah.
new overtime rules.
No
in the
overtime.
playoffs.
No overtime.
You know what?
Well, I mean,
They
you
do that.
have to
You do
have
that.
the
They do that in soccer, where in
Yeah,
the
and no
regular
in playoffs. I mean, in regular season.
Right,
no
right. Yeah.
overtime.
So no overtime regular season.
Yeah.
Get to the playoffs, and then we've
There's overtime.
You each get one possession, and then go from there because we have to have a winner.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
My thing is they do this in soccer, man, where in regular seasons of each country's league, you play 90 minutes, none of you won, we're tied, go home. Like it's over. But then like the specialty events where it's like like a final, like an FA Cup final or a Champions League final, you play till you win.
Yeah.
You play the 90, then you play an extra time, then you play another extra time, then you go to penalties. You know, that's what you do. And then there's different variations where like in America, they did a Leagues Cup where you played the full 90, right? And they went straight to penalty kicks. They didn't do extra time. You went straight to penalty kicks in like the final of Leagues Cup. But you know what? Yes, no overtime in the regular season. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Because that'll be
I
awesome.
really hope I don't get fired for this conversation. It wasn't worth it.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No, I mean just for like, I enjoy
I
the
know.
conversation. I'm just saying, like,
No, I know. You know what? You know, guys, where can people find you, Caleb?
You find
Hurry
me
up, hurry up. We got to get the hell out of here. Hurry up. Come on.
NFL Caleb 22
Hurry up.
on Instagram. and
why are you
Twitter
in
/
such a rush now?
Because I'm trying to help you out, dog. Come on. Let's go.
I mean, I'm here now. It
He's
doesn't-
already
doesn't
here. You
matter.
don't have to run.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
You can still find me at NFL Caleb 22 on Instagram and Twitter / X.
All right.
What would the NFL equivalent of penalty kicks be?
It's got to be field goals, right? Like 50-yard field goals.
No,
I don't
because
think so, because like that's not the main. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
like,
Like, that's not the main.
Yeah,
part
you're
of
right.
the
That's
game.
not the main thing.
Touchdown.
Yeah. So
You have to score touchdowns. It's just 2
So
point
a quarterback
Like, I
having
guess,
to
is
like
is it just like the college will start at the 25 and you're definitely gonna score?
Yeah, I guess
guess.
so. Yeah. What is the NFL equivalent to a penalty kick? Because a penalty kick, man.
2 point.
No, because
That's a 2 point conversion.
No, because here's the thing about the
Well, penalty kick, you have no other defense. I mean, it's just the one person.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna do now. It's gonna be no overtime in the regular season at all. Get to the playoffs. If it's tied, you're picking your best corner. I'm picking my best receiver, and we're going fade routes.
Yes.
5 fade routes, and whoever gets the most.
Yes.
That's a one-on-one situation.
Yeah.
that
And you
makes a lot of
get
sense.
one switch. You get one switch. If you want to switch a corner or switch you can only have one switch. If you want to switch out a receiver, you can switch out your receiver, but one time. But if you want, and then same thing with your defensive back. If like you say your defensive back gets burned back to back, you'll be like, one time switch. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, let's say they do like Legere, like they do Trent McDuffie, right? It's Trent against Brandon Ayuk, and Ayuk burns McDuffie. Kansas City gets one time, and they'll be like, all right, Legarius, go. And Legarius has to stay there for the next three attempts. No switch. One time switch.
There you go.
Yeah.
We need to get Goodell on the phone.
Exactly. And then, if like, let's say McDuffie stifles Ayuk twice, you can't, Niners are like, all right, Juwan, get in there.
No
you're tall.
Debo in this scenario.
All right, Debo. Well, no, I'm just saying like tall person.
They skipped right over their best receiver.
They're
But that is a Kyle
taller.
Shanahan move, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people like, I'm gonna win with Juwan Jennings. I'm gonna show you I'm a genius. Well, that's his problem. No, he's insecure. He's trying to show his genius. He's insecure. And that's why Sean McVay has a championship and he doesn't.
Well, I mean, he also just got beat by a better team.
That's a good point too. But were they a better team? But do they just have Patrick Mahomes?
No, they're a better team. That's part of them being a better team, but they're just a better team.
Yeah, man, dude, that defense was nasty, man.
Yeah.
That defense was nasty. Yo, man, and I love how like no one talks about Leo Chanel for like the entire season. It's like, who is he? And then like the Super Bowl rolls on, is like, I'm gonna have 10 tackles.
Yeah.
Just what I
Every
wanna do.
other play.
Every other play. And like like a random week 12, he's like 4 tackles and like play like only 20% of the snaps. You're like, who is this guy? And then like Super Bowl shows up, is like 12 tackles, 3 for loss, and a fumble recovery. And you're like, I hate you. I hate you. Like, I despise you. Same with George Karlaftis. For the entire, everyone's like, oh, George Karlaftis, he's mad. Dude ate up McKivitz. He ate him up. Like, the pressure was on Brock Purdy, and he should have known that. And he should have known, he should have anticipated the pressure, because he knew he should have moved his feet. He should have moved his platform. Because I remember the play where he completely sells it to the right. You see, Christian Jones, like, he just destroys Spencer Buford.
Yeah,
or John.
I heard you saying this earlier. I don't know when you think he was going to be able to evade Chris Jones long enough to reset and make a throw.
No, but here's the thing.
Was on him.
No, that play, Chris Jones then fell to the ground. He could have moved his feet to the left because Chris Jones already beat John Feliciano, but Feliciano then got away with a hold and like shoved him to the ground. So move your feet left. He was already committed to the right. Even though you know the pressure's coming, your first check should be Brandon Ayuk. It's one-on-one on the left. It's one-on-one. It's just him versus the DB. They went one-on-one. And Brandon Ayuk beats the press. Smooth, easy, clean. But if he shifted if Chris Jones is crashing on John Feliciano, where he blames Spencer Buford, so that but Jones then falls to the ground, and as he's trying to grab Purdy's ankle, but if he sees it, he just goes a little left, isn't committed completely to the right. He should have been committed to the one-on-one to the left. It was one-on-one, and then Brandon Ayuk won.
You don't know what his actual progression was. Like, you don't just say, hey, you know what, right now I'm going to Ayuk.
But a lot of people can't, Brownie, man, when it's one-on-one on an island on the left, that should be like the number one thing, because they went trips and everyone was shifting to that side. And
I'm not saying that it's incorrect in theory. I'm saying you don't know what his actual progression was. Like,
no, but that's the thing. I think if he was let's say a game changer.
Oh Lord,
yeah. He was a game manager.
Oh my God, dude. Cam Newton's like dancing right now. He's dancing. He's dancing. He's like, hey, look at me. Hey. But yeah, like if Tom Brady sees a one-on-one matchup and everyone shifted to the trip side,
but Tom Brady was a game manager.
Hey, well, all right. Calm down. I don't agree. Okay. I don't agree. All right. Tom
Brady changed the game with his mind, Caleb.
Oh, okay.
Kind of did. And no, he had a good deep ball, man. He had some he wasn't fast, but he was. Yeah, he had some.
I mean, like an understatement of all time. Tom Brady wasn't fast.
Yeah, but Peyton Manning wasn't fast.
If Tom Brady took off 8 years ago, he'd still be running, trying to get to the goal line right now.
Yeah, he would be. No, but that's the thing, man. But I don't like how people be like, oh, but then like Peyton Manning can't run fast. Oh, but Peyton Manning had athletic gifts. I'm like, I'm confused here. Him and Tom Brady like threw the same deep ball. I'm very confused. Like, what's the difference? There is no difference. They're both slow and they both process the game quickly, but one has athletic gifts and the one is unathletic Tom Brady. He just beat everybody with his mind. So I'm confused here. You can't have one or the other. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay? You got to pick one.
They were both unathletic.
But that's a good point. Well, they're not like Michael Vick, but like let's not act like they were statues.
They were absolutely. Do you not remember watching Peyton Manning? Like, anytime one of his blockers would get beat, he would literally lay down in the fetal position because he couldn't get away.
I saw Peyton Manning run it for a touchdown on the Cowboys. So I mean,
but you know what? I saw Chad Pennington run for a touchdown on the Bears too, and he juked the hell out of Brian Urlacher. It doesn't make him an athlete.
Oh man, shout out to Chad Pennington, man. Yeah, I was watching Dynasty last night. The Patriots documentary series. And
I thought you meant the soap opera.
Oh no. I haven't watched that in a bit. It got canceled, unfortunately. I may revisit it. Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate you. But yeah, like they always throw back to the footage of like draft night, and like the only QB at that moment where I'm like, yeah, you pick him over Tom Brady was Chad Pennington. Everyone else, I was like, no, you don't draft Giovanni Carmazzi or Spurgeon Wind over Tom Brady. I'm sorry. Like, what are we doing here?
I'm gonna go ahead and say this is your hindsight talking, because Tom Brady was in fact a 6th round pick and nobody liked Tom Brady.
But I'm saying he shouldn't have been a 6th round pick because he played very good at the University of Michigan.
He should have been.
He had an Orange Bowl victory. He played good. He was
Oh,
Michigan's
wow,
starting
an
quarterback.
Orange Bowl victory.
He
Didn't
played
he
good
lose
at
his
Michigan,
job?
dog. Huh?
Didn't he
No, he
lose
didn't
his
lose his job. No, he lost and he took it back.
started like 8 games.
Yeah, then he took it back from Drew Henson
Okay, well,
because Drew Henson was like, "I'm gonna be a baseball player."
He was absolutely nothing special in college.
Okay, fine.
I mean,
But
it
Chad
just-
Penning
it just-
was very special in college.
it was.
Well, passing to Randy Moss helps, but he was still good at Marshall.
Even without Randy Moss, he was a good player.
Yeah, he was. Yo, shout out to Marshall producing Byron Leftwich and Chad Pennington. Too bad, both men were riddled with injuries, but we'll still have those memories. Shout out to Chad. Chad Pennington, man, if he didn't destroy his shoulders, I think he would have been a solid 15 year vet with multiple starting gigs. I think he would have been a better version of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Everybody's a better version of Ryan Fitzpatrick, though.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. What's crazy? The best quarterback in modern Jets history, it's either Chad Pennington or Mark Sanchez. And the best quarterback in Miami modern history, post Dan Marino, it's either Chad Pennington or Tua Tagovailoa. So Chad Pennington is in both conversations. Shout out to Chad Pennington.
Chad Pennington is the correct answer in both those situations too, I think.
yeah. But come on, don't be disrespecting Sanchez. He went to 2 AFC championships.
Sanchez was god awful.
yeah. Chad Pennington's the answer in both of them.
I was a big fan of Mark Sanchez too. He was god awful.
Yeah.
I was like, screw you, Pete Carroll. He's ready.
Yeah.
Not ready.
No, it wasn't.
He was
What if he beat the Steelers that year in the championship? And it would have been Jets Packers.
I gotta say, like he probably should have, because it's not hard to beat the Steelers, right? Like Blake Bortles did it, Tim Tebow did it.
Yeah.
It's not hard to keep them down.
Yeah, the year they lost to the Colts was the year they went like 15-1.
Baker Mayfield did it.
Yeah. The Jags did it, I think, without Baker Bortles. No, the other Jags team. No, my bad. The Jags beat the Broncos. My bad. Sorry. Yeah. Shout out to Fred Taylor. Still not a Hall of Famer. Sorry for you, Fred. But again, so Brownie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Lunch Break Hot Take every Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time for the LBHT show. Follow that up with the Overtime show. You can find me on Sip to Tally Films on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the Ravens Roundup. Still don't know why I'm there. Tuesdays, 9:45 p.m.
Oh, no, you're not.
No Ravens. 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time on Suge Knight 323 for the Steel Conspiracy about the Steelers and Ravens. Don't know I'm there either. And then you can find me on Sundays at 7 p.m. on the Rogue Pod to talk more Ravens again.
At the regular.
and then Ring Kings sometimes, maybe.
All right, that's wonderful. Also, the unemployment line as well. So,
wow, like that. Huh?
Guys, I'm Ferris Daughter. You can find me at Ferris Daughter on Twitter. You can find me every Friday, 3:00 Pacific. Good friends, better rivals, like Caleb said, as well as every Friday, 8:00 Pacific. Good on open table. This week we're taking a break because Adelia's on vacation, much needed vacation, so she's having fun. So we won't be having the open table today. As well as you can find me every Thursday, 3:00. It's the Rewatchers Council. Me, Adelia, and Snark. It is our our Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch recap show. So Snark is the Buffy expert. Adelia watched it while it was airing. She liked it, and I have no idea about nothing about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've never watched the show, so this is my first time watching it as we go along. So every
because it's
Thursday,
not an old man show.
It's an old show.
I mean, it's not an old man show though.
That's a good point. Hey, Blue Bloods is back tonight. Nice.
God,
yeah.
Damn it, bro.
Yeah. So every Thursday, 3:00 Pacific.
When are you gonna just go to the academy?
Never. I watch those shows to like escape the real versions of cops. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because I know the real version. These are fantasy shows. These are not real shows. These are all fantasy. Me watching cop procedurals is like people watching like Lord of the Rings. It's all fantasy. It's all fantasy. They catch a murderer in less than an hour. It's amazing. And there's some type of corruption, but they always get weeded out by the good cops, even though let's be real, that doesn't exist. But it is what it is. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Brodney, for hopping on and adding some lively debate. I love it. Probably clip this out, maybe. Get more views, because I heard Brodney's going viral nowadays. You going viral nowadays. Yeah. Allegedly, allegedly being called bathroom break hot snake for some odd apparent reason.
So would you say you're leeching off of him?
Yeah, I am, and I don't care. Don't care. Yeah, I'm riding this coattails. Don't care. I am using this moment to get some followers. We need subscribers, Caleb. So I got to do what we got to do. All right. So shut up. But on that note, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day. See you guys next time. Where we talk more Giants, Cowboys. Probably do a draft simulator, possibly, because the Senior Bowl just ended. So we may.
It won't matter. It doesn't matter who we get. We're just gonna continue to do the same things all the time, and
that's very sad.
It doesn't matter.
Sad. He was so happy when they drafted Mozzie Smith.
Nobody cares anymore. You can have the best players in the league, and you're still gonna lose in the playoffs.